Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of Saturday Morning Coffee with Back to Basics Dog Training. For those of you who are joining me for the first time, and even for those who already have been joining me for over a year now, I'm Leon. I'm the head trainer here over at Back to Basics Dog Training, and each and every Saturday morning at 11 o'clock, I bring you this live free Q&A dog training session where no questions are off limits. And again, recently added every Tuesday evening at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I do the same live Q&A. Not the same because it's different questions, different people joining me. And as always, if you're watching now live or later on the replay, please shoot a comment in. Let me know you're watching, where you're watching from. When I see that, it just gets me pumped up, and I just get my energy going, and I start going on and on and on. So you guys want to see enthusiasm, put the comments in. Let me know you're watching. Good morning, Michelle, Rob, Athena, and Bergen. Something new I added, guys. I don't know if I'm hoping you see it. So Michelle, you can let me know. Good morning, Lisa from Melbourne. Up in the upper corner over here, I put a QR code to take you guys to my YouTube channel. Do you guys see that in the upper? I guess it would be left-hand corner. If you guys see it, if you scan that, it should take you right to my YouTube channel, because I know we talk about my YouTube channel when we're live here every week to try to get you guys to subscribe and, look at some of the videos that are posted up there already. The repeats of these are on the Facebook, on the YouTube. And I am going to see if I can change that up a little bit to put one for the YouTube, and then throughout the broadcast change it over to my Facebook page for the ones that are joining me from, like, Remember Me Rescue or whatever. They can scan that to go right to my Facebook page. I have to set that one up still. So we're working on that. Michelle, thank you for letting me know that you do see that. If anybody can test it who has their phone handy, I'd appreciate it if you test it for me. I tried it. It seemed to work, but let me know how it works for you guys. That would be great too. I do want to hit a question of the week that I got the other day, and I think it is a great question. And like I tell you guys all the time, if you guys have a topic you want me to approach, email me, text me, Facebook message me, and say, hey, can you discuss on Tuesday or Saturday this topic? And I would be happy to do it. The more I get input from you guys, the more relevant it is to you guys. So, but the question I had this week was, do you have any advice on a barking? Let me rephrase. Do I have any advice for curving the puppy barking whining when she's not getting her way? She literally goes for more than an hour or more. Guys, yes, I do. Remember, when we're dealing with puppies, they're going to test us. They're going to push our boundaries. They're going to do a lot of things that, one, to get our attention, much like children. Young children do the same thing. But also because they're so geared towards the pack structure, the mentality of a pack, they're also testing us constantly as puppies. And like I said, children do it too. They test us as parents. Are you truly that parent that I need you to be? And that's what the puppies are doing. So when they're being demanding, they're whining, they're crying, it's supposed to be quiet time. They should be resting in their bed or in their crate. It's up to you guys to set those clear rules, boundaries, and limitations your dogs want us to do. And it starts the moment we get a puppy home. So we get a puppy home in 8 weeks, you got to start setting those clear rules, boundaries, and limitations for the dog. And how I would do this, I always have said, and I will continue to say, when you're dealing with puppies and they are not in a safe, controlled environment, which would, in puppy stage, really only be their kennel, they should be tethered to somebody when it's freedom time. A leash tied to your belt hoop or whatever, a leash wrapped around your ankle, I don't care. Just they should be on a way to be tethered to you. So when they have these unwanted behaviors, this bossiness with the barking and whining for an hour or more to get our attention, you need to take the leash and make your correction, the nope, and then give them the attention only when that state of mind is calm. If they're whining or barking, their state of mind is elevated. They're being bossy, they're being demanding, they're just being a general pain in the tuchus. You need to establish what you expect during this quiet time. And the other thing that I see with puppies more so today than I did in the past, and I do believe because more people are working from home, is puppies are not being crated enough. While I'm home, I don't need to have the puppy in a crate. No, you do. Same way, if we're home with our infants, we're going to put them in their crib or their bassinet to go to sleep. They need that time to decompress from the day. Everything in a puppy's world is overwhelming. Think about it. They're learning. They're getting new smells. They're getting new sights. They're getting new sounds they're hearing. So it's very overwhelming to a puppy, and they need the nappy nap time to decompress. Yes, ideally they go to your bed and put them on the dog bed, and they go to sleep there, and that does work. But if they're with us in the same area as us on their dog bed, and we're sitting down, we're in our offices working, and the dog bed's next to us, and I got to get up to go to get a cup of coffee. I got to go to the restroom. The dog wakes up, so they're not getting a good sleep. So that's why I always say when we're dealing with puppies, they should be in a crate in a quieter room of the house where there's not so much distractions, so they can get the important thing, which is rest. And when they get that nap during the day, when they wake up, it's a better opportunity. Good morning, Stephanie. So it's so important that we set those rules, boundaries, limitations that we want from our puppies. So, and Stephanie, thank you for the question, because we've been talking about it. So I hope you've been on since I started. If the dog is being demanding for any reason, we need to disagree with it, because the more they demand and the more we give into them, they look at it saying, well, I'm in charge. I'm here when they should be here. The human needs to be here because we're the pack leader. So when the puppy is not in a controlled when the puppy is not in a controlled environment, which means not in its crate, and has freedom of the house, they are going to get in trouble. They're going to, because they're not getting a proper rest, they're not getting proper sleep, and their puppies are going to get in trouble. So by tethering them to us at all times when they're free, they learn what their boundaries are. And it's so important to create those boundaries, especially in the house, guys. And one of the things I've always said: if you have multiple dogs in the house, inside the house isn't the playtime. Outside is play. Inside is comp. It should be based on calm. So Stephanie, my suggestion would be when she's not in her crate, she should be tethered to you. If she's showing these same habits when we put her in the crate, one, make sure we're putting her in the crate in the correct state of mind, which is a calm state of mind. She goes into the crate calmly. I don't do, especially with the puppies, the con with the treats in it, because that represents excitement. That makes the crate represent excitement. I go into your crate, I guide him into the crate, take the leash off, shut the door, walk away. If I start seeing some of those unwanted behaviors, what I'll do is start crate training a little different. And when I'm saying crate training, I'm not talking about pottying. I'm talking about, I'm going to tell you to go, Betty, kennel up or home or whatever words we're going to use for the crate. I'm going to guide her in. I'm going to give her a treat calmly. And then I'm going to invite her out. So if she's whining or barking or anything, she's not going to be invited out. If she's trying to get out on her own, I'm going to say no with a leash correction and put her back in the crate calmly. And then when I ask her, I'd be like, Betty, break. And she comes out of the crate, good, praise, treat. So what they'll learn is if I ask you to come out, that's good. If you choose to come out on your own, that's not good. There's going to be discipline. So again, it's how we present it. And I've done this with puppies and I've done this with older dogs. It doesn't make a difference. It's reestablishing that the crate is a calm zone. Nancy, well, good morning. Jackie, good morning. I didn't get a chance to say good morning to you guys. Nancy asked, do you handle pup barking at another dog while walking basically the same way? Absolutely. If I'm walking and the dog I'm walking with is going to bark at other dogs, there's going to be a correction because the state of mind is excitable. That's what the barking is. I'm going to give them another job usually, tell them to sit. And when I see that mind calm down to calm, good, praise. If you want to use treats. And then I continue my journey of walking. But I only continue when the state of mind is calm, not sitting because they're obedient, not looking over their shoulder to see where the other dog went, because then the other dog is more relevant than me, and I need to be more relevant than that other dog. And then I always go for the state of mind. And when I see that state of mind is calm, I praise, treat, continue. So I hope that makes sense, Nancy. Jackie, good morning. My girl is extended. I'm hoping that means excited puppy. She will be turning 3 in a few months. Okay. Even at 3 years old, the same rules apply. It's reconditioning them to accept that the excitement on their own is unacceptable. If people come over and your dog's excited and jumping all over people, that's not good. If you're out on a walk and your dog is excited, that's not walk. So you got to start everything being based and rewarded on calm. Calm works. And I'm going to use an example from last night. We'll talk about that in a little bit. I had a great training session with somebody here yesterday, late afternoon, early evening, with an excitable 100-pound 1-year-old dog. So stay tuned for. So again, when you're dealing with a 3-year-old dog is excitable, it's going to take a little bit more because it's 3 years in the making. Just take the time. Remember your 4 seasons of dog training, calm, confident, consistency to get the control. And by the way, guys, anybody who joined me late, up in the upper corner over here somewhere, I always do this wrong, is a QR code that takes you to my YouTube channel. So anybody who's been having a hard time trying to find it, there's a quick way to find it. And if anybody can just test it for me and let me know it works in the comments, that'd be great. I tested it. It seemed like it worked good for me. So hopefully it works good for you guys. So what I would do, Jackie, is start everything inside the house. Has to be based on calm. She is not allowed to get excited on her own. She's not permitted. She doesn't have your permission to be excited, because if she gets excited and you give her attention when she's excited, you're rewarding her excitement. So when you come home and she's excited, you got to disagree with it. And I know that hurts because, they're so happy to see me, blah, 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 blah. Don't look at it that way. Look at it as if you're another dog. If another dog comes into my house excited, overexcited, Zoe's going to correct that unwanted behavior. So what I'm asking people to do is do that. Disagree with the excitement when they get excited on their own. If you want to play with them and you want to get them excited, by all means, do it. But when you end the play, your job is to bring them back down to zero calm. And that's a huge disconnect people have. So what I would do is, you say she's excitable. Is that when people coming in the house, I would set her up for success by asking somebody to come to the house that have them knock on the door, ring the doorbell, do different things, and have a leash ready. And do not open the door until she's in a calm state of mind. Do not invite your guest into your home until she's in a calm state of mind. And then when you got her all calm and you get the guest in the house, you have to instruct your guest No look, no touch, no talk. They're not to address the dog at all. They're not to acknowledge the dog's existence. They're there to see you, Jackie. So they should say hello to you. They go to wherever they're going, the kitchen, the living room, to sit down and relax. And when she's calm, and only when she's calm, do we bring her to our guests for the affection that she wants. So what she's going to learn is, oh, when I'm in an excited state of mind, that door is not going to open. Because that's like, let's make a deal. Monty, what's behind door number one? And we give them their prize, so we're rewarding the excitement. Then she's going to learn, I don't even get the affection from these people unless I'm calm. Oh, I'm calm. Mom brought me over. I get patted on the head. I get a rub behind the ears or whatever, without a lot of the, oh, good girl, because that's excitement. Just matter of fact, good. And you praise her. And then what would happen is, most of the time when they start getting that affection after doing this exercise, as soon as they get the affection, and they get crazy, you stop the affection, you disagree, pop it a leash. Nope. Sit, wait for the mind to calm, continue the affection. They learn that if I'm in this state of mind, I will get the affection. Now, keep in mind, it takes longer the older the dog is, because we're rewiring their brain from, in this case, almost 3 years of getting away with the unwanted behavior. But it's never too late to change it, because the beauty of the dog is, unlike most humans, they live in the moment. They don't live in the past. So if we guide them with proper leadership, the 4 C's of training, the calm, confidence, consistency for the control, they will follow that. So with that being said, we're going to talk about a 100-pound, 1-year-old excited puppy that I worked with yesterday. And the big complaint is this dog would jump on mom and grandma, for just so we can clarify. And, 100-pound dog, it's a big dog, jumps up to face level. So there's scratches, there's marks on the noses because the teeth accidentally hit, it's not biting, scratches on people's arms from the claws, shoulder injury because, turn your back on the dog still jumps on you. Yeah, that's a big dog. And my guess is she's going to be about 125, 130 pounds, somewhere around there when she's fully developed. She's going to be a big girl, so it's a good thing they called me now to control it. So first thing I did when I walked in is the dog was excited. But what they noticed is she didn't try jumping on me. Why? Because what I talk about all the time, and I'm going to put that up there because I can. Because I communicate not with verbal, with energy. And she didn't jump on me for about 2 or 3 minutes while I was standing there in the foyer talking. Then she said, okay, I can jump on this guy. And all I did is a simple touch, which is a bite, not anger, no frustration. You guys know me. Boom, no. And she was like, wow, and sat down by my feet. It was over. Put a leash on her. I took the leash. We went to sit down and have a conversation. And the dynamic in the house is a loving home. Everybody loves the puppy. They have another dog that was staying upstairs. And since they got this puppy, this older dog didn't want anything to do with the puppy because the puppy had puppy energy. And the older dog was like, not dealing with this crap. But I didn't focus on the dog upstairs yet because it wasn't why I was there. But I knew by focusing on the dog I was there for would help the puppy upstairs, the dog upstairs. And one of the biggest problems they had is when they bring her outside. Grandma would go outside, do her gardening, want the dog to come in. She'd start walking and the dog would just bum rush her from behind. I mean, it was brutal. And again, 100-pound dog. So one, I talked about controlling the threshold, going out into the yard, making it calm. Worked great. We went out there. We had the dog on a leash for a little bit, walked around a little bit. Dog did good. And I took the dog off leash and we started just interacting a little bit, me and the dog. And I'm walking around the yard and, peripheral watching the dog, not focused on the dog. And the dog is trying to engage me in play, grabbing some toys that were outside. And I just totally ignored the behavior because the dog's not going to tell me when to play with the dog. And then At one point, I turned my back and I started walking like I was coming into the house. And sure enough, I heard it sounded like a horse coming at me. And I just turned around real fast. No, with the snap of the finger, because that's what I do. And she stopped dead in her tracks. I was, oh, okay, what do I do now? And as soon as she stopped, I just continued walking around the yard with my back to her. And she instantly took a follower position. Instantly. She followed me around the yard. She followed me up onto the deck. She stayed in a follower position, which told me a lot about her. She was a back of the pack type of dog that wants to follow. She just didn't know the rules. And by that one simple, assertive, but calm, confident correction, when I turned around and said, no, she was like, oh, okay, let me follow this guy because that is what they want to do. And then we saw some other unwanted behaviors, again, out of excitement. Now we're in a yard, fenced in yard, and she was being dopey. So I had to corral her. Now, mind you, no leashes on because we don't always have leashes with us. The best, again, my leashes could be my energy, and it is my energy. I walked, she was trying to play. You guys all seen it with dogs do that. I'm going to circle and run around you, and I'm going to get close to you, and then as soon as you go to reach for me, I'm going to run away again, and it's a whole game. I don't play the game. So she was trying all these normal triggers because she got something from them in the past, and I didn't fall for it. And what I did is I just took angles to try to make her understand I'm becoming a fence now. And at a point, we're going to get through to your head that you're going to understand when I do this, and you guys can't see it, but I'm outstretching my arms, and I always do the I love you sign. She was trying all this nonsense with me. And in about 2-3 minutes, I don't remember the exact amount of time, she started to slow down a little bit, slow down. And as she slowed down, I took steps towards her, but keeping my arms outstretched to almost create a fence. And then she's looking at me, and she's trying to figure out what I'm doing. And all I was trying to do was break the excited state of mind. I didn't say a word to her, guys. Not one word. Silent throughout the whole thing. My energy was speaking for me, and got about 2 feet from her. She sat down, which means she submitted to what I was asking for. And all I did is say, good, turn around and walked away. And then I went to the deck, and she comes over like, did I do good? And I patted her, I played with her a little bit, and it was a beautiful thing to witness. Now, here's where learning how to reward her calm and getting her into that calm state of mind. If you remember, I said there was another dog there, Teddy, who never came downstairs anymore because the puppy was too big for him, and he didn't like the roughhouse play because everything was based on excitement. So we had Lou on a leash. I asked Mom to go get Teddy, bring Teddy down, because the whole routine in the house changed. The whole entire routine in the house changed. Instead of taking Teddy out from the upstairs, through the living room, into the sunroom, out to the backyard, because Teddy was so nervous and unsure of this puppy's energy, he would lock up. I'm not going that way. So they started taking Teddy out to the front yard. They changed their whole routine because of an overexcited puppy. So I asked Mom to go get Teddy, put Teddy on a leash, and bring him downstairs for us. And sure enough, he went towards the front door, but I was like, no, he's got to come into where we are in the living room / dining room. I think it was. No, it was just the living room. And he locked up. And he's like, I'm not going. Good morning, Nancy. I think I said good morning. I don't remember anymore. So long story short, Mom couldn't figure out how to get him. I'm like, don't drag him. Do not drag him. Do not force him, because it's his insecurity. And anybody who knows me says we never rush insecurity. We guide them through it. And I gave Grandma Lou's leash. I went over to the other side of the gate by the stairs, and I took Teddy's leash, and I did my leash pressure, and Teddy's fighting. And I got motion. I went, good, and did it again. and still fought me a little bit. Got movement. Good. I released the pressure, praised every little movement I saw. And then finally, after 3 or 4 times of doing this, Teddy like jumped like, okay, I got this. I know what you want from me. And he followed me into the other room. And we had the dogs just existing. Now, Lou got a little bit excited. We disagreed with it. And then I kneeled down on the floor because Teddy was so unsure of everything. Teddy's eyes were bigger than mine, and I got big eyes. I mean, he was just like, I am not comfortable. I'm not sure. So I decided I'm going to take away a lot of pressure. I kneeled down on the floor, and I brought Teddy closer to me, but behind me. So now my body was the barricade from Lou to Teddy, but I did that for 2 reasons. I was actually submitting in sense to Teddy, because what happened was when I put him behind me, all of a sudden the nose started going, and he started sniffing me as if I was another dog. And once he got the whiff and he understood the energy coming from me, his whole body language changed, guys. It was beautiful to witness because this tense dog also went. And then what we noticed is as soon as Teddy relaxed, Lou relaxed, because now everything was based on calm. Dogs that this mom and grandma never thought could coexist in the same room. We're in the same room. Still controlled by me on leashes, but in the same room. And as we're talking, I dropped the leashes. They didn't even know I dropped them, which I purposely did it that way because I didn't want them to know I dropped the leashes because I didn't want them to panic. And then all of a sudden, about 5-10 minutes after dropping the leash, I'm like, by the way, you notice this, guys? I'm not holding the leashes. They're coexisting in the same room. And then the waterworks started. It was actually a beautiful thing because they never thought they'd have these 2 dogs together. And then we just took it up a notch. And Teddy looked like he needed to go out. We took him out. He did his business out in the backyard. And then we invited Lou out. And once Lou went out, we still controlled the excitement because we didn't want to set, so there was no excitement outside either. We brought them back in, they coexisted, they were fine, and they're moving forward today. And I got a good report this morning that things are moving along great. But it just shows you things can change quickly. Nancy says, oh my gosh, Trixie was trying that this morning when I was trying to put her on a leash. It took almost an hour for her to calm about it. But I did manage to wait it out and not get upset. Beautiful. And I'm sure once you got that part accomplished, the walk probably was a little easier, even though today's a crappy day to be walking. The walk was probably easier because you broke that ugly cycle quickly. If you would have got frustrated or upset with that process, it would have been a disaster the whole time. So good job. How's she feeling? I know you had the vet checkup, I think Friday, yesterday you said, so let me know how she's feeling. Bonnie, welcome as always. Some pups, Bonnie says, some pups at the kennel freeze in fear when taking them outside for a walk. Sometimes we carry the pups because others bark. In a kennel situation, would it be wise to fork the same way with gaining confidence to have them walk? I don't know what that word fork meant, Bonnie, so I'm not sure. Wise to walk the same way? Absolutely, if that's what that meant. I would not carry a dog in a fearful state. Reason being is kind of accepting the fear, the insecurity. It's kind of embedding it. And yes, but this is life. There's dogs barking, there's distractions, there's whatever. You need to do that same thing with the leash pressure and see if we can unlock, and you will unlock the mind. But again, calm, confident. Just because there's dogs barking, and that's fine, that's part of life, doesn't mean we have to rush the process. Don't rush the process. Take your time with confidence so that dog you're working with understands this is okay to do without the words. Guys, forget the words. The words reinforce too much bad behaviors. Lena, I hope I said that right. We are fostering a dog who is very sweet but very dominant. We have Archie. Very sweet, but dominant to who? To other dogs? And if you're talking Archie, the Archie from out east on Long Island, Shoreham, I think, I don't remember anymore. That's interesting. If that's the same dog I'm thinking of. But when you say dominant, is it dominating other dogs or is dominating people? Either way, it's unacceptable. But again, when we're fostering guys, replying to Lena, he is dominant to us and our small dogs. Okay. If when we're fostering dogs, guys, and I respect the hell out of all you people that do foster. It's a tough gig, and you do it because you have the biggest hearts on the face of the earth, and I understand all that. But again, from a train of behaviors, whatever word I want to put on myself for this week, when we foster, we need to establish the clear rules. So when we bring a foster into a home, into our homes, the first thing we need to do is not love, kiss, and hug the dog and feel bad for them in the past. What we need to do is set the clear rules from day one, and the clear rule one would be no dominance. So for me, when I assisted rescue groups, and I still assist rescue groups, and I talk to the fosters, the first few days, that dog that's coming into the home, especially when there's other dogs, should either be, if it's not in a kennel or crate, it should be tethered to somebody who is calm and confident. And any unwanted behavior, we're going to teach them a new way to do this. So if I was working with a dog to try to dominate me, it would be the same theory: calm, confidence, nope. And when they're calm, reward. So I'm setting them up for success in their next phase of their lives. And that's real important for the dog to understand, is this is the stopover. My goal as a foster parent is to help this dog succeed in the next stage of their lives. And that's by setting the clear rules, boundaries, limitations from day one in the foster. So if I brought that dog into my home, one, it's definitely not going to be able to dominate Zoe. It's definitely not going to be able to dominate a human, but it's going to be very clear to the dog, because I'm not going to give him this new dog too much freedom in the beginning. It's going to take time for that dog to earn that respect for me to give him some freedom. So like when I worked with Duke, I was very structured with Duke. And Bonnie, if you're still on, you remember this. Duke spent the first week in my basement, in a crate, out of the crate, to work with me a little bit, to eat, to go to the bathroom, but wasn't upstairs in the rest of the house with my pack and my family. After a week, when I saw he was really doing good, I brought the crate upstairs. And when he wasn't being worked or eating or going to the bathroom, he was either in the crate or tethered to me for another week. Then I started to allow him to have some more freedom. But it took 2 weeks because we had to build that bond. He had to understand the rules in my house. Yeah, he was house trained at first, and that's, I hate to say it, it's normal, because he's actually claiming the house. Because again, please don't take anything I say wrong. That the clear structure wasn't set up for him, so he's trying to set the structure by pooping in the house. Just forget that happened. Don't live in the past. Learn from the past. Start today. When he's not supervised, he's in his crate. When he is out of the crate, he's tethered to somebody. If he has an unwanted behavior, dominant is this in this case, we're going to disagree, but with calm, confident, consistent energy. I hope that makes sense, because I really want you to succeed. Jackie says, the girl we have is at times resource guarding with long-lasting treats. Stop giving them to her. Should I never offer these to her? I'm sorry if this is an ignorant question. Should it only be given to her in a crate? I would, stop giving it to her till she learns to respect the person giving it to her. Is she resource guarding you against humans or dogs, Jackie? That's Good. Lena, just calm, confident. Start today as a new day. Dogs follow. Set the rules you want to help them succeed in the future. That's what we're doing, guys. Um, anyone. Okay. So, one, bully sticks and those longer lasting type treats are very high value. If they're resource guarding, they haven't earned it. Now, guys, I'm going to talk about resource guarding a little bit. I do highly, highly recommend hiring a professional to help with resource guarding because resource guarding could be very dangerous to the human and to the dog. So I'm going to give you some advice, but please, 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 if it if you don't feel confident taking something from a growling dog, hire a professional to help guide you through it because it's a dangerous situation. And that's why I'm going up to New York in April to work with a resource guarding dog because it's too much for the human. But what I would do is one, treats and high value things represent excitement. We get them excited. Look what I got for you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We give it to them. They're excited. They're going to claim it. It's theirs. Look at this. It's being given to me. And they're going to claim it. It's why you're coming here on Tuesday. Yeah, that's why I'm coming there on Tuesday too. It's one, we have to learn to give dogs, especially high value treats, in a calmer way. If you give them to them calm, you're giving it to them, make them work for them. And working for it is be calm. If I have a bully stick and I see a dog and drool coming out of it, they're not getting it. Because once I give it to them, it's going to take an act of Congress to get it back. I don't ever want to be bit by a dog. I don't want a dog to ever be in a position to bite me, so I have to dominate the dog. So I don't ever want that dynamic. But I also will, if I'm working with a dog that is resource guarding, they're going to be on a leash. So if they show me that unwanted behavior, pop, no, you don't growl at me. And then, not with anger, not with frustration. And then, what am I work on? Drop it. And then they have to walk away from it so I can pick it up. So it's a whole process. But I'm telling you, if you have any trepidation about a growling or possible bite from a dog, they will do it. I watched another trainer doing something very similar. An owner cannot take a treat away from her dog to save her life. This little min pin chihuahua, whatever it was. I mean, you got to see this lady's arms. I mean, she taught in the interview with the trainer. She said she got bit over 35 times. I'm like, wow, 35 times. And that trainer with confidence walked over and took the treat. Because it's the energy. They're sensing your trepidation, especially the first time. The first time you probably walked over with some kind, I'm just going to take it away. And then the energy changed. And once that growl happens and the death stare they'll give you, all of a sudden now we're not so confident. We go to take something and we're hesitant to take it. And they're like, you're weak. I don't need to do this. So it's really a labor of love dealing with resource guarding. And guys, please, if you listen to anything I say, if you have a resource guarding dog and you are not calm, confident, and you're worried about getting bit or whatever the case may be, please hire a professional to work with you, because a true professional should know how to do it without hurting the dog, scaring the dog, just getting the job done. I know she will bite. She's bit over a small piece of Himalayan chew. Well, one, stop giving her stuff right now. Work on building. One of the things I would suggest, Jackie, is another alternative is stop giving her the stuff. Start going on the structured walks where you are in control of the walk 100% of the time. Because when you show that leadership, I'm in control on a walk, that does transpire to the home. So the structure of the walk I set up, and guys, again, up at the upper, I don't know if that's right or left-hand corner, but right there is the QR code to take you to my YouTube channel. Please, somebody test it for me. Let me know if it works. It's the playlist on my YouTube channel. How to Leash Train My Dog in 5 Easy Steps, is about the structure and the leadership that these dogs need to become the followers, that we want them to become. Because when a dog is in a follower state of mind, like this 100-pound puppy I worked with the other day, yesterday, when they're in that follow state of mind, as a leader, believe me, someone scanned the QR code. Good. It actually told me that. That's pretty freaking cool. Let me know if it works. If a dog is in a follower state of mind, which is what the walk, it works. Yes, thank you. So make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. If the dog is in that follower state of mind, you can do whatever you want because you're the pack leader. You're the alpha. Whatever words we want to use, you can do more with your dog, but they have to understand their followers. This 100-pound dog that another trainer was there, the mom and grandma all thought this dog was the top of the pack. And what I learned, it's the back of the pack very quickly. Dogs get missed. They have to learn to follow. So yes, I know it's cold. I know it's brutal up. I'm in the South. It's easy for me to say, well, but when I was up north, guys, the key was walking your dog. I know it's hard when it's cold. I know it's hard when it's raining. I know it's hard when it's snowing. You haven't had that much snow this year. But it is so crucial. I mean, I can say, okay, the elements are bad, the snow, the rain, okay, understandable. The cold, guys, you got to get out there and do it. It's so beneficial to your dog to understand, to be that follower and follow the structure of the walk on that playlist, How to Leash Train My Dog in 5 Easy Steps. Guys, that stops a lot of nonsense. I've said this before. If we all learn to have the off-leash experience, we get a puppy at 8 weeks old. By the time the puppy's 6 months old, if we have that off-leash experience where our dogs are following us, you need the leash because there's laws. The off-leash experience is, it's like you don't have a leash. Most of the dog training world is done. Going out after the video. There you go. But again, watch the videos I've set up. That's why I put them out there, guys, because I believe in the structure of the walk to have our dogs be followers that want to follow us, not that have to follow us. There's a huge, huge difference. So the more we can gear them to follow us, the better it'll be. And it's not about forcing. Thank you, Stephanie. It's not about forcing them to do anything. It's about getting them to want to do it. I don't force my kids to do anything. I get them to want to do it. It's just the way it goes. My no anger, my no frustration, my no nonsense methodology of training was taught to me by dogs, because I'm, like I say all the time, I'm not the smartest person in the world. I just know how to read what the dogs are telling me. And when we're dealing with certain behavior, overexcitement or aggression or insecurity, it's all being handled the same way, which is from here, the energy that we put out. So if we can learn my 4 C's of training, the calm, confidence, consistency to get the control, our dogs will follow. And like I said, last night, I wish somebody was there to videotape it, because it was exactly what I talk about week in, week out here. Guys, this dog fell into that follower role that quick. And there's no magic, because I always roll up my sleeves or wearing short sleeves. Yesterday was hot. I had short sleeves on, not even the long sleeves underneath. There's nothing up my sleeves. There's not magic involved about it. And it works. I am motivated. Thank you, Jack. I'm glad the motivation comes through in this platform. I am so excited every week when I bring this live platform to you guys, because truly, this is my goal, that together we can help one dog and one family at a time. Because to me, it's more about dog training. It's helping people. And if I can get them to have that happy, balanced life with their happy, balanced dog, that's a reward. And that's what I try to bring to you guys. So I hope the passion comes through in the live platform. But holy crap, we're at the 45-minute mark already. And it just seems like I just started. So this has actually been a great day, guys. Thank you. It's truly an honor and privilege to be here with you guys each and every Saturday. With that being said, though, it is about time we wrap it up. Remember, Please email me, text me if you want me to have a topic of the week regarding specifically to your issue. Tell me if Tuesday night at 8 o'clock would be better for you, or Saturday morning at 11. Just put it in the info. I'm just gonna move out of the way. I know this is my old phone number, but it still works. You can text me at the number up on the screen, or email me at either Leon at Back to Basics Dog Training or info at Back to Basics Dog Training with your question that you want me to bring up for the topic of the week. Tell me if it's better for you on Tuesday evenings at 8 o'clock Eastern Time or Saturday mornings at 11 o'clock Eastern Time. And that'll be my topic of the week instead of me coming up with one every week. Come on, guys, give me the input. But with that being said, guys, thank you for inviting me to your homes each and every Saturday morning. It is truly an honor and a privilege to do this and bring this to you. Oh, wow, that quick. Just use some of my advice and it's working already. Beautiful. It is truly an honor and a privilege to be here with you guys each and every Saturday mornings at 11 o'clock. And again on Tuesday nights at 8 o'clock. Thank you again. I lost my train of thought. Thanks for the comments. I see them coming up. That's why I lost my train of thought. You guys are quite welcome. As always, stay healthy, stay safe. God bless. And remember, together, we can help one dog and one family at a time. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, guys. We'll see you Tuesday night.